Graham kind of wanted to move on to a different level. I think he spent, as I said, he spent some time with Mama Cass and hanging around the Hollywood Hills. And I think he'd also, I think, just gone through a separation. So he was, you know, going through stuff. But hey, I'm so happy it happened because, as I said, it was my biggest break. And it was a wonderful time. I remember the day I joined, we had a reception at the Westbury Hotel in London. And it was a big secret. Nobody knew who the new Holly was because we had a wonderful manager, a guy called Robin Britton, and he used to rob Britain, of course. Anyways, no, he was a fantastic guy, and he was from a different era. He had a mansion on the Isle of Wight. His brother, you know, built the Britain Norman Island aeroplane. I mean, this guy was great. Anyway, he arranged this whole thing. Nobody knew who the new Holly was going to be, so he just built the whole thing up. So there we are in this like reception room. Next minute, the doors open and all the press are there. Every newspaper in the UK, you know, with the big ones, Mirror, Sun, everybody. Here's the new Holly. He used to be in the Swinging Blues. He used to be in Escorts. He's now a Holly. And I was on the front page of every major newspaper. I mean, for me, it was just a dream come true.
And you were how old then?
I just turned 22.
Wow.
Just turned 22.
A lot of responsibility.
And then, of course, then you've got to get to the real business. How is this new Holly going to fit in? And what's this going to sound? Well, we'd already had, you know, I'd been in the studio to Abbey Road to do some tests type thing. You know, we needed to make sure. And our first record, Sorry Suzanne, basically was a hit all over the world. It wasn't such a big hit in the States, but it was certainly number 1, 2, or 3 in most countries in the world.
Forever hurting you. You know I never wanted to. I'm truly sorry, Suzanne.
And so it was like relief for them, and for me it was just pure happiness. And then the next record, of course, was for me it was unbelievable. It was He and Harry Is My Brother, which was like a worldwide hit. And we had Elton John playing piano. Just the whole thing was just a wonderful time. I just look back on it sometimes with, you know, real joy. Went into Abbey Road and the Beatles were there, and I'm walking down the corridor and George Harrison walked toward me and he said, as only George Harrison could, he said, "Congratulations on your new boast." And I just, a bit of a bear hug and goodbye, you know. Well, the first time we went solo, I think he probably would have regretted it because a song that he'd actually sang and wrote with Roger Cook was just for an album track. It was Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. And what happened was it came out in Germany on a B-side. Alan's now gone to do his solo stuff. We've now got a Swedish guy, Michael Rickfors, in the group. The DJ switched it over and just played Long Cool Woman. Got loads of phone calls. So he called our German record company, it was Hansa at the time, and said, "Listen, people are going crazy with this B-side, you know, you should think about switching it." They did, it went to number 1. Then obviously it was released in the States, went to number 1. Epic Records in the States wanted us to come over and tour. Well, we did.
You didn't have
but
a lead
without
singer.
We had Michael Rickfors, who was
I'm sorry.
Swedish. He couldn't have sang Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress in a million years. He couldn't get around the lyrics. So I sang lead, which was great for me because we did all these TV shows. We did out west and out east. We were doing these chat shows and things. I think we did the Mike Douglas show and everything. And I was actually singing lead on. So, you know, to all intents and purposes, to the USA, I'm the lead singer of Long Cool Woman. actually. I should maybe talk a little bit about Ron Richards, who was our producer. He was the guy who really made the final decision. He was very good.
Was he the original Hollies producer?
Yes. When they went in, you know, what would happen is all these groups were being signed from all over the country, the Animals, the Beatles, Billy J. They'd be assigned to an A&R man, you know, and the A&R man that the Hollies got signed to was Ron Richards. In fact, Ron Richards, John Burgess and George Martin all left EMI to form a company called Air London, and I think this was the first time this had happened. And in fact, Peter Sullivan was involved from Decca as well, and they formed Air London, and that became like a house of producers and also a house of songwriters. Like Roger Cook would always be at Air London down writing with, you know, Roger Greenaway. Yes. And it was like, this was new to the UK. But yes, Ron Richards was with the Hollies from the day one, and basically he'd be the last final word on what song would be the single. And he had a fantastic track record because we had 28 hit singles. Hindsight, toward the end, you know, it wasn't Ron's fault, but we were also not the bee's knees anymore. There was other people up and coming, so it was harder for us to get on the air. And, you know, the air that I breathe, there's a pun. The air that I breathe was, like we had like a 2 or 3 year break without having a hit record. And that's a good, funny story, how the air that I breathe came about. It was actually George Martin's secretary, Shirley, heard Phil Everly singing it on the radio as an album track. It was an album track, and she thought that'd be great for the Hollies. So she told George tells Ron, and she was right. So what a great ear his secretary had as well.